Well, May is Fraud Awareness Month, and we're going to learn more about what they're doing with Allen County Job and Family Services. We have Investigations Supervisor Shannon Vermillion with us, and thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about, first of all, Fraud Awareness Month. What kind of awareness are you trying to spread through this month of May, that actually all year long, too?
Sure, absolutely. So the goal of Fraud Awareness Month is just to promote the importance of fraud reporting and how it impacts the community. Our goal with our investigations unit is to promote program integrity. And when we see people who are intentionally frauding the system and receiving public assistance that they are not entitled to receive, we're trying to promote the idea that it is harmful to the rest of the community members who truly need the assistance.
Yeah, because sometimes we're like, we want to turn another, oh, that's okay, they're doing their thing if that's what they feel all right about it, but it's not all right, and so encourage people to say something about it?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a couple different options on how you can report it, and we truly do encourage community members when they see fraud to report it to us right away. You can call our fraud hotline, or you can go online to our website and report it anonymously. You can report it anonymously through the hotline as well. You're not responsible for leaving your name or your number if you don't want to.
What kind of programs are we targeting that people use a lot for fraud?
Sure. Well, the most common that we see probably is the food assistance fraud, just because that's a lot of people are on food assistance. We also see Medicaid fraud, Ohio Works First fraud, and child care fraud as well.
Okay, so you have a new unit, right? I guess an early detection program. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started this early detection and prevention program in February of this year. And the goal of that is to stop the benefits from going out fraudulently before they're issued. So we're trying to eliminate overpayments and catch the fraud before the assistance goes out. And we have a new group of investigators who are going out into the community and trying to crack down on that fraud so that we can maintain that program integrity.
I assume there are special red flags that you guys look for. I mean, how do you even figure out, well, maybe this is a problem and we need to look at it?
Sure, yeah. We have a group of screeners who screen all of the applications that come into us, and they flag them. So we have a leveling system. Level 1 is minor, level 2 more moderate, level 3 severe, and they bump them over to our 2 EDP investigators. We look for things like people who have no income, but they say they have expenses or addresses that don't match up, or maybe an absent parent in the home as well.
So is this more prevalent in our area than we would think, probably?
Yes, it's a very prevalent problem. We are seeing a lot of cases coming through that do have public assistance fraud. And it's a much bigger issue than what I think people would imagine, which is why we're highly encouraging people to report it when they see it.
Did it get worse during the pandemic, where people, were without jobs and trying to get more from the system?
Yeah, I'd say we definitely saw an uptick in the amount of fraud during the pandemic. We were out during the entire pandemic, out in the community trying to crack down on fraud as well. So we have not slowed down our efforts in any way, though.
This is one of those situations I feel like people might know, but they're afraid to report someone. I assume you try to keep it anonymous and, don't get people involved that don't have to be?
Correct. Yeah. When you submit a referral on our website, you don't have to put any of your identifying information at all. It can remain anonymous. Even when you call into our hotline, if you don't want to leave your name, you can remain anonymous as well. And that makes more people feel comfortable coming forward.
Do you have any idea like how much money you've saved, like over the past year or two by finding people with fraud?
I can tell you specifically for the first month of the EDP program that we started in February, we saved the taxpayers and the rest of the community roughly $58,000.
Wow. Okay. So it's working and you're catching people.
Yes, it's definitely working. We've seen a lot of success with that. I think in the first month, we've received about 136 referrals that we investigated, and about 56% of those came back as substantiated or fraud. So we are seeing a lot of success with that, in addition to our regular investigator who handles the rest of the investigations that are not considered the early detection program.
Wow, really interesting stuff that we are learning about fraud awareness in our area. Thank you very much for sharing with us today.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, don't go away. Noon Edition continues in a moment.
Update your floors with 11